or you're an owner operator and you're thinking about getting a freight dispatcher, or maybe you're an owner operator and you already have a freight dispatcher and it's just not working out for you. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 things that the top freight dispatchers possess that will help you on your journey as an owner operator. So stay tuned to the video. All right, y'all, Marco Perkins back with another video with Trucking and Cash Flow. And in this video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what does the best freight dispatchers possess? What do they do for owner operators? What is their job? What are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to help you as an owner operator, right? What made me make this video was an owner operator called me and he basically was like crying out for help, right? So I answered the phone, I hollered at him, like, what's going on, bro? Man, you know, I'm just not making no money. I'm like, well, what's up? What's going on? He like, you know, I'm running here, I'm running there, and wow, where are you running at again? So he went to telling me the lanes, and he just was like running all over the place, running all these different loads. And he was basically averaging like $1.80 for the entire week on all his miles, right? So I went to asking him questions like I do with all owner operators, and of course, couldn't answer it. So first question was, I was like, well, what's your average rate per mile? He was like, I don't know. I said, oh, okay. I said, what's your cost per mile? He said, what's that? And this is on operator. He's been on operator for years. I said, oh, wow. In my mind, I'm like, oh, snap. You're in danger because you don't know your numbers, you know? So I said, well, are you booking your own loads? And he was like, nah, man, I got a dispatcher, man, and blah, 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 blah. And he just went to like going in and just telling me all of the things that was wrong. You know, he was like, man, sometimes I'll sit and wait on a load, and if I don't hit him up and basically aggravate him and pressure him to give me a load, I might sit all day without a load. I'm like, wow, really? Okay. So then he was telling me about how he's just not finding the good loads and all these things. So when I went to think about this, I'm like, well, because he kind of was putting it all on the freight dispatcher, and I get that. But I'm like, well, you would never really, I'm not going to say never, but it's probably going to be really hard for you to get you a good freight dispatcher because you don't even know what a good freight dispatcher even looks like, right? Think about that. If you don't know what something is, how are you going to find it, right? You don't even know what you're looking for. So hopefully in this video, I can help my owner operators, my fellow owner operators, right, out with this situation because I'm starting to see a lot of it. Freight dispatchers is on the rise. They have a lot of them out. A good bit of them are scammy. A good bit of them are just lazy. They're not really looking to provide value. They're just looking to make a phone call, shoot out an email or something, and just make some money. If people are allowing them to do that, and they getting paid for it, well, hey, you know, big ups to them. So let's get in straight into it. And like I said, I'm gonna give you 3 things that if a freight dispatcher possesses these 3 things and they do these things for you, then you have you a bomb, a great freight dispatcher. Like, trust me on this, all right? So these are the things you should be looking for, which the last one is always the important one. So yes, you got to stay to the end of the video. All right, so check it out. First one first, we all know this one. This is the easy one. What is the first one? They have to find you free, period. That's what they're supposed to do. Whether it's load boards, whether it's direct shippers, or whether it's brokers, they're supposed to sit behind that computer, watch that phone, wait on emails to come in all day. All day meaning work hours, right? They supposed to be hitting up direct shippers on the behalf of you, not marketing straight to direct shippers, because as a freight dispatcher, if they do not have their broker license, that is illegal. So if you're a freight dispatcher and you're watching this, don't do that. If you decide to reach out to direct shippers, make sure that you are doing it on the behalf of your carrier that you are working with, i.e. you're serving them, working for. So, and it's supposed to have relationships with brokers, period. Brokers should be their friend. This is what they supposed to be doing for you. If they're a great freight dispatcher, they should be having connections all day, every day. They're supposed to be looking for freight for you. All right. You should not be stressed out about looking for freight. You should not have to be worried about freight. If the market is down and the market is bad, of course, a freight dispatcher cannot pull a load out of you know what, but they should be able to make the best out of what the market is giving them. Definitely shouldn't be sitting around all day waiting for loads and not hearing anything from your freight dispatcher. If they don't have loads, then they just don't have loads. But if they have something out there, they should be getting the best thing out of that for you. All right, so that's number one. Number two, they should basically be your administrative assistant, period. What do I mean by that? All of those aggravating emails and phone calls, they should be handling that for you. Brokers tend to they have little techniques. And one of these techniques is this, because they're always looking to save money. That's how I'm gonna word it. Save money. I'm not gonna say cheat you out of money. I'm just gonna say, save money. But they'll do little things like they will email you as a carrier, knowing that truck drivers, owner operators, they don't really read their emails like that. Not like that. They're not on top of it like that, right? They're mostly answer the phone, and most truck drivers don't even like to answer the phone because brokers call them all day. They want you to download the tracker, then they want you to stay on top of your emails, then they want you to answer the phone, but then they also want you to drive the load, and they want you to secure the load, and they want you to deal with the shippers, and they want you to do all this work, right? So the freight dispatcher is supposed to relieve you a lot of that stress, right? They're supposed to answer those emails as quickly as possible all day, because brokers love to just constantly email you all day. And they're supposed to answer a lot of those phone calls, right? And you got to remember, sometimes these brokers, it might be a team of 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 of them, and they're like have different shifts and all this. They might have check-in emails and calls. They might do about 3 or 4 of them over the span of like 3 hours, right? Or sometimes shorter than that. Freight dispatch is supposed to help you with that, right? Logging all the rate cons and your BOLs, that's a part of administrative work, right? So whenever, sometimes you might have an issue with a shipper or receiver, and they might hit you up a month or 2 later saying, hey, we need the original BOL from this load. Can you mail it in, or can you send it to me? The shipper said that they'd never received it. The receiver said they'd never received it. Whatever it is, right? A bunch of funny bunny stuff be happening. A great freight dispatcher, when you send that in to them to get paid, for them to invoice it, which is a part of administrative work as well, to send it to your factoring company or however you're gonna, invoice it and get paid, they should keep a log of that, all right? They should keep that in their system, whether it's a system that you have as an owner operator or a fleet owner, and you give them access to that, or basically they have their own system that they would log everything in. But they're supposed to keep all of those rate cons, all of those BOLs in a system to where you can access that, preferably through a cloud base, and if not, they can send it to you when you ask for it, right? And keeping track of the numbers, that's a part of administrative work as well, which is a big, big, big thing. They are supposed to keep track of your numbers, okay? When you ask them, hey, where we at for the week? Oh yeah, hey brother, you're right at $2 a mile, right? On average, all miles. Oh, you're at $2.75 a mile. Oh, you're at $3.50 a mile. $2.62 a mile, whatever, right? That's where you at. Right now, and they know that because you're giving them, they're keeping track of the miles you ran, and they're keeping track of how much you've made and all of these type of things, right? They should have some type of calculator. They should have some type of system or whatever that they have created, or they're paying for, some type of software of something, some spreadsheets, something to help them with these things, right? They should be keeping track of the numbers of how you've been making out for the previous weeks and months and however long that you have been their client, right? They should be, keeping track of that, right? Let's move on to the last one, which is, in my opinion, the best one that I believe a lot of owner operators, they don't even know that they even want this and need this out of a freight dispatcher, right? But basically, which is a trusted advisor, right? Freight dispatchers should be looked at as a trusted advisor, all right? And what do I mean by that? Well, if you ask your freight dispatcher, hey man, listen, I'm thinking about going run the East Coast. What you think about that, right? They should be able to come back and say, oh man, yeah man, it's, that 95 looking pretty good, over there in Virginia, or, maybe you should stay in that northeast corner go over there in Jersey, New York, PA, and Maryland area, or maybe you should go over there and run a DMV area, right? Or nah, man, it ain't really looking good in the DMV area, but I tell you what I've been seeing. Once you go on ahead and go up there, you know, around the 80, hit PA, hit a little bit of New York and Michigan, and stay in that little corner or whatever like that. Or maybe they might say, hey, look, man, I don't really do the northeast corner. I'm going to stay southeast, but if you're looking to go up there and run that area, give me a little time, maybe give me a day or two, a couple days or a week. Let me study the market over there and I'll get back with you, right? You should be able to go to them and ask them a question like that. You should be able to go to them and say, hey, man, listen, you know, what do you think about, you know, I'm bidding on this lane or whatever. A guy reached out to me and they want me to bid on this lane. Can you help me bid on this lane and come up with some numbers on this lane or whatever like that? It's going from Houston to Miami, Florida, you know, and they should like give you some data, give you some insight on these things, right? They should help you with these things as it's coming with your business, right? You should be able to ask them these type of questions, and when you ask them these type of questions, they should be able to give you some type of answers and help you with giving you trusted advice, right? So those are the three things that a great freight dispatcher would provide to you as the owner operator. If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button. If you want to see more content like this, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you're interested in our free community, as always, I'll leave a pinned comment below. Just hit the link, come join on in. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.